All right, this is Drew Canoli of FitLife.tv. You're listening to Justin and Kate of Extreme Health Radio. Remember, we're in this together.
Welcome to Extreme Health Radio. Extreme Health Radio.
Where natural solutions to almost every health condition are out there. Join us on our journey to find them.
Now here are your hosts,
Broadcasting from sunny Southern California around the world.
Justin and Kate Stellman.
Well, today we have an actual medicine man on the show.
I've heard. Word on the street.
You've heard rumors, huh?
I've heard rumors.
We have Jay Gutierrez on the line from Pritchett, Colorado. So this should be a fun show about low radiation stones. And a couple of questions for you, considering all of this Fukushima stuff going on. What if radiation were actually good for you?
I've never heard such a thing. Is that what we're going to be delving into today?
What if radiation would help you live longer and healthier? And what if most of us are suffering from a radiation deficiency that could cause diseases like cancer?
Wow.
So we'll tackle those questions.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. My name is Justin, and this is my wife,
Kate. Happy Labor Day, everyone.
That's right. It's September 1st, 2013. September 2nd.
Yep.
2013. So I want to thank all of you guys for being on the show. We do shows 4 days a week, and we broadcast to over 120 countries worldwide. Amazing that we're able to do that. And if you'd like to follow our work, you can do so at extremehealthradio.com/Facebook, and you can click the like button on there and join our community. With that, we'd love to have you keep up to date with our shows and our work and all the stuff that we're doing here. So please do that. And our shows are on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And this is episode number 147 already.
Yep.
Pretty amazing.
We're hauling, aren't we?
We're hauling. So if you would like the show notes with the transcription, and Kate's going to take notes on this particular show, and if you have any comments or questions, you can always do so at the bottom of our show pages. That's extremehealthradio.com/147. And a couple different ways that you can join the show. We'd love to have you do that. You can simply email me, Justin, at extremehealthradio.com.
Or Kate, Kate, at extremehealthradio.com.
Or you can send a voicemail to our voicemail line, which is extremehealthradio.com/voicemail. And you can record a message right from your computer. And that would be a great way to interact with us and get your question to our guests on the air. And another thing, too, if you guys do any shopping on Amazon, we'd love to have you support us that way if you could, if you can remember. The trick is just remembering whenever you make a purchase on there. It doesn't have to be health related, and then you can go to extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, or you can just go to our website and there's links on there for Amazon. Anytime you make a purchase, and we'll get a little commission.
Keeps us rolling over here.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who's done that. We really appreciate it. And looking at our upcoming show schedule, we've got Daniel Vitalis, part 3.
Of air, our air series.
Yeah, Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. And he'll be talking about air.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Who knew there was so much to know about air?
We'll be talking an hour about air.
I know. This is going to be great.
That should be pretty interesting. We've got Billy Blanks Jr. talking about fitness and giving us some exercise ideas.
Okay.
So that's good. And then we've got Dr. Bradley Nelson, and he'll be talking about energy and emotions and how they play a role in our healing.
Awesome.
And he is the author of The Emotion Code, and his website's healerslibrary.com. So he's really a great guest. We've had him on before. Really great guy. Today we've got Jay Gutierrez, and he is a medicine man, and he's founded Nighthawk Minerals, which is out in Pritchett, Colorado. He's been doing this work for many, many years, and he's working with low radiation stones that he actually mines out of the earth out there.
Wow.
And pretty amazing stuff. So thanks, Jay, for being on the show today, this special holiday show.
Well, hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you're the founder, is that right, of Nighthawk Minerals?
Yeah, we've been out here, actually in a ghost town out here for the last 5 years, but we've been doing this work for a little over 30.
Wow.
Oh, wow. How is the weather out there today? It's got to be just blazing hot.
Well, I'll tell you what, believe it or not, it's beautiful out here. It's green. We're in High Plains Desert, but it's beautiful out here. There's ways to explain that too, but I don't think the public's ready for that.
Yeah. Wow. So you actually started out, you were a mechanic on helicopters, is that right?
Yeah, I was a helicopter mechanic for years. I did 20 years Air Force and Army, and then I got out and actually ended up being director of maintenance of a commercial helicopter company making movies and Powerline Patrol, Division of Wildlife. But I had to wait for a sign, and finally I got it from God, and I left everything and started helping people and been doing it for years, my wife and I.
That's amazing. So were you out there when you were doing helicopter mechanics, or were you somewhere else?
I was in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. Still a Colorado guy, though.
Yeah, so, but, no, then now I turned, when I got the signs, I just turned everything over and then gave my life. And I'll tell you what, the miracles we've been seeing and been able to validate, and the people the good people around the globe, actually, that have come here to see what we do, from Africa to Korea to you name it. This has been incredible work.
That's amazing. People come from all over the world, I've been seeing, and I think you have a population of something like 200, don't you?
Well, we only have 100.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
That's amazing. So people come from all over the world, and you get these stones, you sort of mine them yourself. I've seen some videos where you're down in the mine yourself and everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, for years, we've been mining stone out of Utah and Wyoming and helping people. We mine low-level radioactive, naturally, that's important, naturally radioactive stone. And for years, we've been working, helping people with degenerative diseases, mainly cancer, using a modality, what they call radiation hormesis, which has been around a while. Hormesis is a Greek word which means to excite. So under this modality, they're saying as radiation goes through you, it slightly damages or stresses your cells and DNA, and when that happens, it triggers your response from your immune system. And we used that to back us up for years. I mean, on how, trying to explain all these miracles with people we've been seeing.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't it? It's interesting to me that in the health, and especially in the alternative health community, people understand the idea of dosage. Because I've heard people say that all food is poison. It just matters what dose you take it in. You drink too much water and you can die. But the same thing would be true with like homeopathy, or high vitamin therapy, where people are taking extreme doses of vitamins. And it seems that idea makes sense no matter what you're talking about. And
sure. As a matter of fact, I mean, we work with some of the best. I might be a medicine man, and I'm 20 years military, but I work with some of the best nuclear physicists and doctors and you name it around the country. And with all these guys, they always write me and they ask me, they say, Jay, we're the only ones, by the way, in the world that I know of that do this. Mm. And they always ask me, I've got ores in my rock shop that are over 110 milligrams an hour, and they're strong and they won't hurt you, okay? But we found out a long time ago, they always ask me, how high can you go before you cause damage, Jay? And I say to myself, why would you even ask me that question? We found out over the years that anything over 30 milligrams per hour, which is very low, believe it or not, is past the effective rate. So anything past that, you're doing no good. And it's just like you said, you can kill yourself with too much air or too much water.
Yeah. That's amazing. So what was that 30 millirem per hour? Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what the highest that we usually let our stones come out of here. And but what we do is, over the years, we've been able to, we make different stones with different ways, like mud packs, and they're all measured out in different millirems per hour. That's what we go by. That we've known over the years it's most effective. Now, here's what's very important, and one of the biggest findings we've found, and this is very, very, very huge. Now, like I say, we used to use natural radiation in this country, 1910s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, with great success. In fact, I got rooms full of antiques, and then we became radiophobic.
What was that all about?
Well, we got Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and it made everybody scared of radiation.
No, but in what ways were we using it, and why were we using it in the 20s and 30s and things?
Well, for health, I mean, I've got crocks here made of uranium ore where people would drink the water out of it. Blankets. I've got. I can just look around me here. I mean, all kinds of little things that they used to use natural radiation to help them with. And I've had stories from people from back in the past all over the country.
Wow.
So it was real, and it is real. In fact, my job here is I spend most all my time validating, because I have a lot of like scientists and doctors around the world. They're always making sure that I can validate everything I say. Mm. And so I know our people are safe and what's happening is real. Wow. But here's what we found out, okay? And over years of doing this and helping people, I was able to, believe it or not, start using cattle tanks for cattle. I was able to prove that it never was the radiation that was been helping my people all these years. It was the frequencies they were putting out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And after we understood that, we had a lady here about a year ago. She had 4-stage big open breast cancer. She had 4-stage lung cancer and brain cancer, 48 years old. Understanding that this was frequencies, and by the way, these frequencies will change the pHs in waters.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 ways to change pHs in waters. That's the frequencies or chemicals. And so we were watching all these waters, like in cattle tanks, being better than what's coming out of the wells. They were about a 7.4 every time.
Mm-hmm.
So when we had a woman like this, and she had an open cancer like that, when we submerged her totally in waters are a carrier of frequencies. And when they would be directly introduced into that cancer, anything making decay or producing acid or decay, it would neutralize. We watched this tumor die in front of us. In fact, she's in Denver now, cancer-free.
Oh, my gosh. Where was the tumor that went away?
It dropped out. Kid you not. I've seen this a couple times. A guy will be in there with his glove, and all of a sudden it just like plop out. And I remember there was a doctor, a healer in Australia, emailed me once how he had his. I remember he wrote, I had my gloved hand on, and I held my hand beside this lady's breast, and this tumor fell right out into his hand, and he just couldn't believe the awe and his reason he was here on Earth. It was pretty wild.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the radiation that's actually in the stones that you work with, is that coming from the Earth? It must be. Yes,
it is. Now here's what happened, okay? Now, we've worked with thousands of people all around, for years, all around the world. And we would do a lot of other things, too. We work a lot with the agriculture because we're finding out these same frequencies are doing miraculous stuff to the land out here. Incredible. So what we realized, we have our own medical doctor, okay? And we realized when we took out all these people and we realized these frequencies, whatever we've introduced them to, whether it was cancer or cattle, water or weather, it didn't matter. They've always done the right thing, never made the wrong move, always overpowered the bad frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
How we fixed the bees that were dying. And so what happens, we understand we're working with a frequency here. My docs call it God's breath, and but it can do no wrong. It just doesn't know how to do the wrong thing. Wow. And we're seeing this in everything that we're putting it into, like I say, from cancer to cattle. So what you have here is a true frequency, okay? It's true. Now, what happened is man came along. What did we do? We took, let's say, low-grade uranium ore, and what we do? We spun it, we enriched it, we altered it. We took a truth, and we made an untruth. We took the truth and altered it. We made an untruth to destroy. See? So we jumped right over the healing things with radiation from was helping a few people to where it was just destroying now. And, we've made so many different assumptions that were just so false.
Right, right. Is there any difference between, I was just thinking as you're talking, is there any difference between the natural radiation that comes out of the earth and is in the stones that you work with versus, I'm sure it's a matter of dosage, but the radiation people get for cancer? And the reason why I ask is because, a lot of times with like pharmaceutical medications, the reason why they're so damaging is because they're isolated, and then all the buffering compounds aren't in the actual medication like they would be in a plant. Is the same thing going on with the radiation where, like you said, we're kind of, for lack of a better term, bastardizing that?
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you an example. Okay, I mentioned the bees. Okay, now the bees dying across the globe, that's a global problem called CCD, colony collapse disorder. Now, what happened is these bees, now we take a good look at the bees because mankind's falling right behind them, okay, because they have such a structure, a social structure, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these bees, what's happening is their whole life depends on frequencies for navigation and communication. Now, when these bees go out with all the cell phone towers and microwave towers and all the pesticides, toxic molecular structures, this guy's going out there and he can't even find his way back to the hive, so they're collapsing.
Okay.
GPS has been negated. Okay, so what happens is with the bees, what we do is we take in their sugar water beside the hives, we'll put a stone in there because we know it's carrying the correct life-giving frequency. The correct life-giving frequency is one that repairs and destroys.
Okay.
So what happens is because water is a carrier of frequencies, there's a lot of good work to follow on that, like the works of Dr. Emoto, and there's quite a few.
Uh-huh.
So when we put the stone in the sugar water, the stones, first of all, we notice they drink twice as much water. So we've directly introduced that frequency into the hive. We had a hive in Virginia that was getting ready to collapse on its third year. And when we put these frequencies in there, over the next month and a half, it swarmed 4 times. So they had 4 other hives. And the normal hive that would produce 50 pounds per season produced 250, and they were healthy. And we actually even used other species of bees beside to make sure we were doing the right thing.
Really?
Yeah, so we understood we were working with the correct frequencies, right, that makes life work. In other words, it's kind of like carbon monoxide. You can't see it, smell it, taste it, but it's there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All right.
Have you ever used the stones and like frequency generators or Rife machines or anything like that?
Well, now you got to understand, when you're talking alternative medicine, okay, there's 2 sides of the house. One is nutrition, supplements and such, okay?
Uh-huh.
The other side of the house is energy medicine. All right, now, and that's Rifes, MOPAs, biofeedback machines, all these things. And what it is all these years, and I know some of the best radiologists guys in the country have been to their places.
Oh.
And so the thing is, though, all these guys all their life have been looking for, even Royal Rife in them, the correct frequency.
Uh-huh.
They've been searching for. Well, I argue with these men here, and we understand that we located and were able to identify that we are working with the correct frequency. And that's all a part, that's how all that stuff came about, though. Let's say in the work of Royal Rife, okay? Because of the work of Royal Rife, I'm able to understand what I'm doing here. Because of the work of Wilhelm Reich, I'm able to understand the work that we're doing here. So these guys, it's not that they failed, that they just carried out information we needed to put things together.
Wow, it's so fascinating. So now some of these stones that you mine, many of them will contain different types of radiation as well as different amounts of radiation. Is that right?
Well, I know a lot about stones, believe me, but for our people, we only use 2 different ones.
Okay.
Okay, we use a chrysocolla, which is a copper stone, kind of like a turquoise or a malachite.
Mm-hmm.
The copper stone is held together by quartz, which can put out electricity. You can measure it on these. And the copper seems to hold radiation because it has a thorium element in it, okay? Thorium is a radioactive element.
How do you spell that? Sorry, thorium?
Thorium, Thorium.
Thorium, okay.
And then that's natural radio. In fact, you'll find thorium in the ground everywhere you're at. On the ground. I mean, it's in the surface. People don't realize this. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things is to walk into an antique store with a Geiger counter.
I bet.
Oh, yeah, there's always some poor lady at the register looking all nervous, and I've got this detector going off in the store. I always wanted to go over and say, hey, I've got to get this stuff out of here. But I couldn't do that because it's been around a while and people don't understand. Wow. As a matter of fact, if you really want to know, if anybody was interested in radiation, that's dangerous. If you look up back in 2010, there was a Professor Edward Calabrese out of Massachusetts.
Uh-huh.
And what he did is he took a team of people and he looked at the work of a guy named Professor Muller in 1946, won the Nobel Prize here. And this is for establishing what our government goes by called the LNT theory, which means any amount of radiation is bad for you.
LMT.
Yeah, linear no threshold.
Okay.
So, in other words, this man won a Nobel Prize telling everybody that any amount of radiation is bad for you back in 1946.
Oh, wow.
So now in 2011, Professor Calabrese goes through it with a team of people in his notes, and this is actually published in the media here, that this man had lied to get the Nobel Prize, that it was all false. Well, actually, myself, I think he's responsible for the deaths and pain and suffering for millions, but they proved that he lied to get the prize. So in other words, we took a different route because of that. But now they know that LNT theory is false, but we've dug ourselves in so deep, we can't just come out now and say radiation is really good for you. Okay?
Wow, golly, it's like we trap ourselves with this whole research, and then we never really question it.
That's right. So I mean, like, and with these farmers, I mean, we're using restructured waters on our fields with these same frequencies and getting miraculous results without even pesticides or fertilizers.
That's
but I mean,
amazing.
yeah, but with health, our main goal here is, and we have for years here, even though we work all these different things, our main goal has always been people. We've been working successfully with degenerative diseases for years. What normally happens is you call me up, and let's say, I don't know why I keep saying leukemia lately, but let's say you call me up with leukemia.
Okay.
I already know that's roundworm, by the way, and I'll tell you here in a minute. But what we do here is we have wellness instructors. I'm a wellness instructor. And we've trained people to where you called in, you have leukemia. I know all about disease, your blood markers, whatnot, because we do it all the time.
Mm.
See how you're doing it. And then what we normally do is we put people on what we call a 3 divine protocol. Okay? Number 1 is frequencies, which is the stones. All right? What we do is we send people what we call a Nighthawk mineral stone, a foundation kit. It's got a pendant, green stone, water stone, mud pack in it. These are all tools. They have a half-life of 250,000 years. Like a first aid kit that doesn't expire, because we use them for all kinds of things.
Wow, that's interesting. Hey, Jay, we have to take a short break. This is a perfect time to take a break, though, because I want to get into each one of those 3 different protocols that you have with your healing there with leukemia.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing stuff.
Wow. Good stuff. If you're interested in this information, don't forget to check out his website. It's nighthawkminerals.com. And he's got a bunch of different things on that website, videos and audio and interviews and all kinds of great stuff. So we'll be right back with Jay Gutierrez right after this break. I do a lot of weightlifting and lifting heavy weights at the gym, and I love it. But there's also another side to working out, which actually helps you increase the energy in your body. As you know, in our culture, just about everything is a stress to our body. It depletes us of life force energy and our energy in general, whether it's, coworkers or getting to work or dealing with difficult family members, things like that. All of these things cause stress and energy depletion in our body. And something like Qigong is a really great way to help cultivate your inner energy. And it's been practiced by people in the East for thousands of years. It's put together by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar. You can find it at extremehealthradio.com/Qigong, which is Qigong. And it's called Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. And I highly recommend getting this product. It comes as a physical product to your house with really great DVDs and workbooks on how to do this ancient art of cultivating your inner energy and building that core energy of your body. And it's been practiced, like I said, for thousands of years. So I highly, highly recommend checking it out. If nothing else, just go to extremehealthradio.com/Qigong, Qigong, and get on their mailing list, because they'll send you lots of free information as well. So check out Peter Ragnar. He looks amazing for how old he is. He's been doing this for like 60 years or something. It's really an amazing product. So check it out, extremehealthradio.com/Qigong.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Don't forget to join our thriving community for health tips, inspiration, and show updates at extremehealthradio.com/Facebook.
All right, right, we're having a great time here with Jay Gutierrez from nighthawkminerals.com. And very interesting information about, especially about leukemia being roundworm. Never heard of that before. That's really interesting. But I just want to let you guys know also, all of our shows are free. We basically do all this stuff for you guys for free. And one of the ways that we support ourselves is promoting really, really great products that we stand behind, that we use, that we believe in. And one of those was the Qigong course. And so we won't be able to continue doing a free show without your support in these areas. And we really think you're going to like the products that we promote. The Qigong course is amazing. I have that and use it. It's great. If you want to listen to the interview that we did with Tristan Truscott, that was episode number 127. If you're interested in energy medicine and learning more about Qigong and the kind of benefits that Qigong can have for you. So make sure to check that out. And as the lady said, don't forget to follow us on Facebook. We'd love to have you join our community. And we post show updates. We post future shows and past shows on there, and inspiration and all the different things that we're up to on a daily basis. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook. And right before the break, we were kind of getting into a little bit of the protocol, Jay, that you have for leukemia. Is that right?
Well, yeah. Well, it's actually the protocol we use for all degenerative diseases, and that we've been very successful with. And it's a lot of common sense. And let's say you called me up and said you had leukemia. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm always going to suggest we put our people on what we call a 3 divine protocol. God put it together so we can. Anyway, so number 1 is frequencies.
Okay.
The first part of 3 divine is frequencies. That's where we'll go ahead and we'll send you the stones, and we're going to place them on different parts of your body, and we're going to get responses. And these are tools. We use them for everything from foot soaks to inhales to you name it.
Mm.
And we're going to get responses from the body, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for 2 things. Number 1, I'm looking for acclimation, just to see how energy sensitive you are. Now, come on, I'm one of these old military guys that didn't believe in that stuff, but it's true, it's real, and we watch for it because a lot of people are very energy sensitive out there. We watch for that, and then I'm also looking for die-off, okay? Because if you have a degenerative disease, more than likely you do have an overgrowth of yeast in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking for too much die-off too quick because I don't want to overwhelm you. All right? So when we place our stones, that's what we're looking for there, and it's always repairing and knocking the yeast back.
Okay.
The second part of the 3 divine is minerals. Now, I had a hard time figuring out how I was going to get out with all the different people around the world we work with. How am I going to go ahead and get everybody on a level playing field as far as nutrition? Everybody's on some kind of diet or whatever, and some are good, some are bad. But what we do is we work with these people out of Alabama. Quite a story how I found them. And, they'd been working with the Amish for years, and then we went way back in the woods and found these people that make this angstrom-sized mineral kitchen liquid water. Angstrom is 10,000 times smaller than micron.
Okay.
The cell can only accept something up to 4 angstrom in size. So what we do with these people, we've been putting them on because you came to me, your immune system's already compromised, okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm putting the stones on you, frequencies, and then I'm going to build you up for 10 days, okay? So what I'm going to do is we'll put you on magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc, trace minerals, and some vitamins, all liquid in a kit from our people, Water Divine in Alabama.
Okay.
And so we'll run you out for 10 days. And because I'm trying to build you up, right minerals, right frequencies, you're doing better and stuff. And after 10 days, we're going to switch over to, and by the way, we get the worst of the worst cancer patients, and this works, okay?
Now, would people be at their home, or would they be in your location?
They'll be at their home.
Okay.
We brought people here for years. That's how we built our foundation, learned what we could do, but we work with most all our people from their home now.
Okay.
With lots of support. Support's important. So what we do is run you for 10 days on foundation minerals, and then after 10 days, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a cleanse, also using Water Divine and angstrom-sized minerals with silver and copper. I'm going to go ahead and clean out your bile ducts and your lymph system, okay? We're going to do a couple cleanses over a weekend, let's say. You'll actually get stones out of your stool.
Wow.
And then what will happen is by that time right there, and I'll put you back on foundation minerals, by that time right there, comes in the third part of the Three Divine Protocol. Now, first of all, let me tell you any degenerative disease, but let's just say cancer. I'll give you our stance on cancer, all right? So you got to understand it, all right? Everybody has yeast in their body. That's for when you pass away. That's what decays your organs. All right? So everybody that comes to us with a degenerative disease has an overgrowth of yeast, or you can call it candida. It's a fungus, i.e. cancer in the body.
Okay.
So now everybody that comes to us with, like I say, with a degenerative disease, they have an overgrowth of yeast in their body, but guess what? It's doing its job. It's eating dead tissue, all right? So all the doctors around the world are cutting it out, all the alternative guys trying to get your candida levels back in. But they're doing their job. I tell all the doctors and scientists, everybody around the world, if you don't stop what's damaging the tissue, you'll never get that candida, i.e. yeast, fungus, cancer under control.
So candida is actually eating up dead tissue as well as whatever it is that's causing the candida itself, right?
Exactly, because now remember, the yeast is eating dead tissue, but it's dropping also mycotoxins.
Okay.
Get your off. Now, on the third part of the Three Divine Protocol is parasite identification and elimination.
Oh.
Right. Now, we use our own medical doctor. Now, when it comes to parasite testing and people putting their lives in our hands, I don't want muscle testing. I don't want kinesiology. I don't want a biofeedback machine, because I've had people call it wrong and lose their lives. Okay, seriously, I'll tell you some stories. But the thing is, when it comes to parasite testing, I want my medical doctor looking at your stool sample underneath his dark field microscope and telling us exactly what eggs he's seeing, and then I want a natural remedy targeted for that parasite or parasites. And my doctor's been able to do it. He's one of the best medical doctors around. He's a holistic MD. He left mainstream medical. He's been following my work since 2006. I actually bought a house out in this ghost town.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Now, the thing is, what Doc will do, what I love about this, is you'll get the report back. By the time we finished building you up and going through a cleanse, and I got you in the stones, you're doing good, we'll get a report from Doc. And whatever protozoans or metazoans, like let's say leukemia. On leukemia, 100% of our people with leukemia have always had ascaris or roundworm. Also, 100% of liver cancers, breast cancers, and prostate cancers have all been ascaris.
What is that? What is that word? Ascaris?
Ascaris, Ascaris.
Oh, what is that?
Roundworm.
Oh, that's another name for roundworm. Okay, now is that? Do you think that's causing it, or do you think that's correlation?
That's causing it. Now, on that particular disease right there, let's say leukemia or breast cancer. But now, the thing is, there's other ones in there though too. The stories are incredible, from hookworm to some of the worst ones we get are what they call protozoans. But see, now the great thing is, once Doc sees these, and number one, he's the one looking at your sample. He's the one that's going to call you. He's going to tell you what he found. And when you put those up on the internet, what the symptoms are of those parasites, they're going to match up usually what's going on with you. When you can visualize it and see what's going on, right then and there, you're in control. And when you're in control, that fear goes away. I see it all the time.
Wow. So just empowering people. It's kind of like just people going to regular medical doctors. They want a diagnosis so they can at least feel comfortable with what they have.
Well, most people call here can barely pronounce what they realize they just got.
Totally.
Wow.
What Doc will do, though, from there is we'll put you on a natural remedy for that parasite or parasites. Depending on what it is, it could be like a silver protein or an essential oil in a capsule. He's a medical doctor. And he'll run you through 3 cyclings of the moon, okay? Because when the moon's the highest, that's when parasitic activity is the highest, okay? So we're going with common sense here. So we'd hit them over 3 cyclings of the moon with those remedies. All right. All the time we're still working with the stones and the minerals, and I'll tell you what, that's simple, and we've been winning this war. We've been doing it for quite a while.
Wow. So what's the deal with the moon? Is that because of the gravity and the fact that we're water and things, or?
The problem with what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's going on with the phases of the moon? Is that because we're really essentially just bags of water and and the gravity's pulling on our water and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. If you put it down more or less, you are correct. Well, if you break it down far enough, you're correct.
Interesting.
And we see that with agriculture and all kinds of things.
So
we work on a lot of different problems out here that we're fixing using these same frequencies.
where do you think people are getting these parasites from?
Oh, that's easy. You can get it from the food you eat. I mean, you can pick up roundworm from walking barefoot in the grass. Kid you not. So you just never know where you're going to pick it up. And usually, if you've got it, a lot of your family members will have it, and we just start cleaning up families.
Interesting. That is
wow.
so... You know, it's interesting because we're told to walk barefoot because of the...
Grounding.
Yeah, the
Right.
grounding and all that. What do you think about that then? Should you just proceed with caution?
Well, you know, some people will do, like, there's ways you can maintain, like you can do a cleanse for parasites once a year.
Okay.
You can do stuff like that. Or in actuality, supposedly, if you had your immune system up high enough, it'll take care of it. But because of what we've done with so much fertilizers, pesticides, and bad frequencies in the air, our immune systems are being compromised, and so these guys are winning against us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is there a need, or have you seen do people come to you that aren't sick, just as kind of like a prevention, or is it mostly the sick people that you're dealing with?
No. There's a man on the internet. I love this. His name's Vinny Pinto, and he runs these discussion groups on radiation hormesis.
Uh-huh.
And he's got his people, I kid you not, they're from all over the globe. They're like from Taiwan, the Philippines, Greece, I mean, all over. And they'll call me up and they'll say, and they're all scientists and doctors and stuff from around the world, and they'll call me up and they'll say, hey, I'm one of Vinny Pinto's people. And so you know right then and there, they're usually healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
People are very healthy. But they've done the research. They understand if they do this, they're going to live the goal, which is a long, normal life.
Wow. What is his website? Do you know?
Whose website?
Vinny Pinto.
I just have to Google him.
Okay.
He's on. I don't know his way. It's a discussion group, one of those Yahoo discussion groups.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
And there's a few of them out there, and we have a lot of supporters out there, a lot, because we know the history, the supports there. I mean, we have good people all over the country that are just really working with us and saving a lot of lives.
Wow.
So the radiation, the low dose radiation, let me just try to figure out what's going on. It's actually going into the body, and it's, you said earlier, damaging cells.
Well, that was off the theory of the only thing we had to back us up for years of radiation hormesis.
Okay.
Until we could validate, and believe me, I had to validate big time, but until we could validate that it was frequencies. And by the way, once we understood it was frequencies and not the radiation, we were able to anticipate the responses we were getting in different things, such as cancers or fields of alfalfa.
Wow. So what's going on inside the body when the radiation goes through?
All right, here's what happens. When you're introducing that frequency into your body, okay,
Uh-huh.
let's just take one thing, for instance. Let's take toxins. Okay, toxins. Toxins, if you go break it way down, all toxins are of a crystalline formation, okay? Now, when you bring in the correct frequency, like the sound with the glass breaking, it just shatters them,
Uh-huh.
and they just eliminate, okay? The frequencies also, they are the correct vibration for repair. In other words, with frequencies, you bring it in with the correct minerals, you bring in the correct frequencies, they vibrate, that's life. You bring in the wrong frequencies, they'll either shatter or they won't do anything at all.
Wow. So this radiation, which is essentially a frequency, is doing that inside your body.
Absolutely. I mean, we see it. This stuff is so proven. It's unreal. And in fact, you know, the problem I have is not, okay, I take a farmer out and I fix his field and I bring another farmer out. And I'll show him, hey, we raised twice as much hay with less than half the water, with no pesticides, no bugs, and all a zillion other things. And they're looking at you and they're saying, I want to do it. I just can't believe it, even though they're looking at it. Right? Because you're so conditioned, you know, not to look out of that box.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, like the farmers are set up to fail anyway, and so that's what we're out here trying to fix them for. But like I say, a main thing here is always going to be, and has to be, helping people.
I love it. I love it. We're with Jay Gutierrez from Nighthawk Minerals and getting a lot of good information about a subject that probably most of us have never heard about, but really fascinating stuff. And so if you're interested in his website, it's nighthawkminerals.com. And we'll be right back with Jay Gutierrez right after this break. If you're like me, chances are you've tried lots of different whey protein powders and different protein powders on the market. The two I like are Sun Warrior Protein and One World Whey. One is vegan and one is not, but One World Whey, I love it. It's 100% raw and grass-fed, coming from Amish farmers with healthy cows. It's an incredible product. It's got about 25 grams of protein with each scoop, which is really, really high. It increases the glutathione levels in your body. It helps to eliminate heavy metals and toxins out of your body, as well as radioactive fallout from chemtrails. And it helps to decrease inflammation in the intestines, which helps with having healthy bowel movements. It builds lean muscle, and it's great for your skin and anti-aging. It increases your energy levels. It's really, really a great product. And it's not just for building muscle. It has so many benefits. And you can learn more about all the benefits of this incredible product at extremehealthradio.com/whey. WHEY, and it's put together by Synergistic Nutrition, and One World Whey is the product name. I highly recommend checking it out. If you are interested in buying it, please consider doing it through us. We'll get a little commission, and you will see what I'm talking about. You're going to be hooked and addicted to this stuff. So consider this product as part of your daily protocol. Maybe put it in your smoothies, and just, it's really, really a great product. So thanks for listening, and let's get back to this interview.
All free shows, all the time on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Sign up to our email list and instantly get our free gift to you, along with loads of inspirational content and cutting-edge tips to help change your life at extremehealthradio.com/subscribe.
All right, we're having a really interesting discussion here with Jay Gutierrez from Nighthawk Minerals, and just want to let you guys know also about that One World Whey protein powder. Amazing stuff. And if you are interested in that, we did a whole show with Stephen Hurer, who's the owner of Synergistic Nutrition there, and we talked about the whey protein and how I think it's the only raw grass-fed whey protein powder on the market, and the stuff that this guy's into is amazing. So we'll put a link to that show if you're interested in getting sort of upgrading your protein powder if you are taking that. It's with Stephen Hurer. We'll put a link to that. And as the lady said, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter as well. We'd love to have you join our newsletter. And we're giving away right now a great ebook called Lessons from the Miracle Doctors by John Barron. Great book, and it's got all kinds of alternative natural healing protocols in that book for just about every disease. So check that out. And right now we're with Jay Gutierrez from nighthawkminerals.com. And I think, Kate, during the break, we wanted to ask Jay about...
Yeah, Jay, I was just really curious about the people who are going through typical treatments with, radiation and chemotherapy and things. Is that something that conflicts with this protocol? Are they able to... How does that work with people who call you up that are going through that right now?
Oh, yeah, we work with people in conjunction with allopathic medicine all the time.
Oh, okay.
And here's what we found out, okay? Number one, well, first of all, I've lost more people to chemo than I ever did cancer. Okay? I'll just say that straight up. But when we work with people on chemo, all right, we seem to find out that it just takes longer to get them fully recovered.
Okay.
Right? In other words, we have to take care of the damage that the chemo did too.
Mm-hmm.
And then with radiation, now this was interesting. We had I'll tell you a quick story. I had a lady, this was years ago when we first learned this. Yeah, once in a while we get people with cancer and that don't have anybody. I mean, they don't have friends, they don't have family, they have nobody. I mean, it's amazing. But so there's support. And I had a lady who called me up and she had to take radiation treatments. And she would have to drive to the hospital, but since she had nobody, she would have to go through radiation treatments, and then she'd have to sit there for 3 hours before she could drive home because she couldn't handle it.
Wow.
And so what happened was when we put her on the stones, what we found out working with her, because I remember her calling me, she thanked me so much because when we put them on natural radiation, okay, with the stones, it seems as though they can handle the regular radiation a lot better. Even though it's a different radiation, they can handle that better. In other words, she was able to take that. She goes, I walked out and drove myself home. Thank you so much. You know?
Really? Wow. So somehow the damaging effects of traditional radiation were somehow mitigated a little bit. Yes,
and so we've seen that with a lot of our people these days, to where if they elect to take now, here's the other thing too. Some people we get them all the way up to the point to where they got to make that decision: am I chemo, radiation, or am I going alternative?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we get those every day. So all we can do is we give them all the information we can. But people that have already gotten better. But because of the way we've been conditioned, people feel if they don't do the chemo, right, like it's their turn or something, that they're going against everybody.
Yeah.
And this is your life, for goodness sake. It's your decisions. It's between you and God, for goodness sake. Not for everybody to be telling you what to do. It's your life.
Mm. Wow, it's interesting. I had a friend that recently passed away from colon cancer, and she told me that her parents would kill her if she didn't take chemo. Same kind of thing you're talking about.
Mm.
When you see colon cancer, you know what? I can tell you right now, that was parasitic.
Mm.
All right? And see, now we know, but we lose a lot of people, and we've lost many people. For what we do, we actually have a fantastic record. Incredible. Nobody could even touch it. But we've lost people in the past. And it's always tough, but, we learn from these people, too. It wasn't like their death was for nothing. Their life was for nothing. Their life was here because we learned from them. We've learned from a lot of these people to help others even better.
Wow, that's amazing. So what about if people are interested in, listening to this and they just want to take their health to the next level and they want to talk to that doctor that you mentioned and take a stool sample? Can they call you up? Is it relatively affordable?
Oh, you know what? Now check this out. I can. Okay, let's go back to the leukemia thing. And I must be having some of them. They call me with leukemia, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But listen, I can get someone through on the phone, get them all the stones they need, the support they need from us, and all the minerals they need, and the cleanses they need, and the support from Water Divine, the parasite testing from a medical doctor, and the remedies all together, all of that through with a support from everybody for a little under $1,500.
Oh my God!
And so, if people want to you have a bunch of other things on your website where they're $150 or different pricing for different things, but
we've had blind people that can see again. We've had people. But they're miracles, yes. But the great thing about it is they've all been explainable. And I could. Let me tell you something. If we had about another 8 or 10 more hours, I could tell you guys great stories all day long.
Mm.
Have you ever had anyone be damaged by any way from the radiation?
Nope, never have. As a matter of fact, you know what? We're the ones that we drive I managed to get my ATV in to where I can drive it about a mile. We mine about a mile underneath the ground.
Uh-huh.
And when we come out of there, our skin's reading like 30 milligrams per hour. And most people, scientists will say, oh, he's going to die or whatever. We've been doing this for years, and we don't even get sick anymore. We just sit, and you get younger. The anti-aging thing is there because, we've seen it. That's even explainable. But like the lady that had the cancer here, she was here for 9 weeks, getting our tubs twice a day, sometimes 3. Not only did it fix her cancer, but she got younger. And she was taking college courses here, right, and getting straight A's for her and doing her husband's work and getting him straight A's because the higher the frequencies in the body, the higher the clarity of thinking.
Was that the radon baths that you've talked about that you put her in?
Oh, yeah. What we do is we have a tub here we fill with water, magnesium chloride. I'm big on magnesium chloride. We have uranium ore in it with restructured waters and chrysocolla. And what we do is we go ahead and we put her, submerge her into the tubs. Now, what we also did, though, because when she got here, she had 4-stage breast cancer. When she got here, their oncologist called up and said she had also 4-stage lung and brain. And I had to be the one to tell her that.
Oh, no.
So what I did immediately is just like the thing hit me. If I ever had, let's say, pancreatic cancer or something, the first thing I would do is I'd go camp out in front of that mine until I got better. So what we did is we took a small room here, what we call the mineral palace, and I lined it with uranium ore. and put a steamer in there. And we stuck her in there with the lung cancer. I mean, she could feel it. Even when she'd walk by the room, pull on her lungs. And son of a gun, if it didn't work.
Oh,
That is amazing. Wow.
this is stuff you don't hear every day, isn't it?
So if people wanted to get some of your stones, could they actually get a Geiger counter and measure the stones themselves?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing.
See, everybody thinks that's, how can you do it? No, you can buy hotter stuff on eBay, for goodness sake.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at, like I told you, I go into the antique shops all the time, and the depression glass, the green glass that glows, that's all radioactive.
Oh my gosh! I'm just looking at your website here under the stones, and I see you have the kit, and you have mud packs. What's going on with those mud packs? What are those all about?
Well, what happened is when we cut the stone, we use diamond blades and water, and we collect all the filings from it, and we put it in big vats. Then we measure them out with what energy they need, higher or lower, and then we put them in these plastic bags, and people lay on them, put them around knees. We've saved more knee replacements, more rotor cuffs, and we put them over areas like, say, stomach cancers or whatever area we want to target.
Maybe liver or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we make eye stones, mouth stones, ear stones. And you know what? Myself, like I say, I'm a little helicopter mechanic. I ain't letting you go up in the air unless I know it's working. And I wouldn't have put these things on my website if I didn't see them work. They have to work.
So the mud packs, are they like traditional mud packs where it's you put the mud actually on your skin, or are you just putting these right on your skin inside the plastic?
You just leave it in the plastic and stick it underneath the sheet of your bed and sleep on it, or some people tuck it in their pants or whatever they need it. Now, we do use, though, the mud in some situations to where, like with a skin cancer, you just put mud on it for a couple of weeks, or not even that long. Just directly on it, let it dry out for it. It'll go away because cancer can't survive in that environment. It's skin.
Wow. So these mud packs, you could buy them, and essentially they just last you forever then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm
And we don't charge for people calling in, and our phones they ring off the hook for people needing help, but they usually don't ring and needing guidance. But we use when things go wrong, you would know it, and our phones stay pretty quiet on that end.
Wow.
So people get better. What
is the greenstone? What kinds of things do people use the greenstone for?
Greenstone is the stone I started with. I did a helicopter mission. They actually wrote a book about it called Because People Are Dying. And I was on a helicopter mission in northern Wyoming. We landed, and I found some green and blue stone on the ground, and I was drawn to it. I couldn't get away from it. It took me about a year, and I mined it, made jewelry. People started getting better from all kinds of things. So I've always stayed with this stone, and it's a chrysocolla, a copper stone. Like I say, it's held together with silica. The quartz in that seems to be more pyroelectric. In other words, with temperature change, it'll create electricity. Mm-hmm. And it's more like instead of using straight like uranium ore, it's more like a fine tuner. I've seen more miracles with that greenstone than anything. I tell people that's my hero, that's my insurance policy. I tell all my wellness instructors, if all else fails, always go back to the greenstone.
Wow, so people could use that, I guess, in a variety of different applications and ways. Depending on how creative they are with it.
Oh, yeah. And there's probably not a rancher or farmer out here you couldn't pull along a truck here that he'll help you right in a circle with a mud pack in his seat and a green stone in his pocket.
Wow. So I like the idea of that mud pack, though, lasting and staying inside the plastic, because, you can just buy a one-time deal and you sort of just use it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be harder than that. I mean, like I say, with these degenerative diseases, we've been winning with that for a while. And the other thing is we're using these frequencies on to help. I mean, like I say, stuff is so huge, I don't even go there. But, I mean, it's just incredible things we're seeing. But it's just like I told all these, even the farmers and ranchers around here when they're working their lands. Same thing with people's health. The only way we're going to win this, people, is with the truth. And that's what we're putting out here, is the truth.
I don't want to get... Oh, did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say thank God for people like you.
Yeah. I don't want to get too far into this, but as we're sort of closing up the show, but do you get any issues or do you have any issues with the government in terms of claims and things?
Oh, no. First of all, we're all medicine men and women. We're covered under NAFERA, the Native American Free Exercise of Religion Act. It's congressional Act 1973. We're also very well protected by a lot of different groups of people, and doctors and scientists. And we're not doing anything illegal. And we've been doing this quite a long time. In fact, I know people in bigger places that have even come to visit us. They're supposedly the bad guys, but they don't touch us because they know what we're doing is the right thing.
Wow. So I like this water stone and the gray stone pendant. You can put this thing in your water, and then you can wear the pendant as well around your neck and for greater healing. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The water stone, what you're doing there is when you put it in a gallon of water, those frequencies are restructuring that water with the correct frequencies. In other words, it'll bring the pH in by itself. And anything that's toxic molecular structure in there, like I told you before, is of a crystalline formation, you can put these stones in water and actually see stuff start falling to the bottom of the jar. And you think it's junk from the rock, but it's not. It's broken up, shattered up all the stuff in the water that's bad. And it just eliminates to the bottom. Wow, that's crazy. And then the Greystone pendant, it says on your website that people can wear that if they have lung issues or thyroid issues, things like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, those were originally made for women with breast cancer. We made them a lot hotter. But then we found better ways to go after breast cancer. But the pendant was important for when you're trying to get these frequencies in the body, you're trying to get it systemically through the whole body. So when the pendant is just a good part because it's right over your thymus, it's over the major organs your body is doing the repair. I can't say enough about the pendant.
Interesting. Wow. So with this kind of thing, would it work well for autoimmune diseases? Because with autoimmune, a lot of that stuff it seems to be parasites and things like that.
Here's my stand on that, and I'll stick with this. There's no such thing as an autoimmune disease. God never made a creature on this earth that would self-destruct like that. They call it an autoimmune disease because they can't figure out what was causing the problem.
Okay.
And that's what we do is we find out what was causing the problem.
Wow. So because a lot of people like Lyme's and arthritis and things, those are all considered autoimmune.
No, we take care of those. There's a reason, and these people that we work with, once they fix themselves, they know they have a better understanding and they teach others. It's just like I've had guys calling here with pancreatic cancer and supposedly 3 weeks to live. Okay, and we've saved them. One of the first things I tell them is, hey, guess what? This isn't all about you. This is about you getting better and you teaching other people how you did it.
Yeah, really use your disease as a platform, right, to help other people.
Then suddenly they have a purpose, and you see it all the time, and they're on top of it.
Wow. So you see, what's in your starter kit that I see here?
The starter kit will be a mud pack, a pendant. The regular kit that I have people get out, me as a wellness instructor, okay, what I like to get out, like I say, is the regular foundation kit. The starter kits are for little pieces for people to try things out if they want.
Okay.
But for me, I want, if you have, as a wellness instructor, if you call me up, I don't care if a little girl up the street's got a brain tumor or the kid across the street got bit by a brown recluse in the face. If you've got, we get this stuff, if you've got a kit, which is a mud pack, a pendant, a water stone, and a green stone, and you had a level 2 gray stone, which is a higher millirems, we can just about fix anything.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's very interesting. So you also have the oxygen trap, I'm looking here, where you can breathe this, the radiation from the stone in.
Yeah, and the only people that really get those, and they're effective, but the only people that really get those are the ones that are already on oxygen and they're grabbing at everything they can, and it is helpful, but if they're doing an oxygen trap, you bet I've got them on the rest of the kit already.
Wow, interesting. So if someone were listening and they just want to take their already healthy body to another level, take it for a spin, what would you suggest? Maybe the starter kit to just start out?
Myself, my wife has actually got a sale on the regular kits here this month. When we used to originally sell them for $260. I'd get one of those, and I would sleep on that mud pack and wear that pendant and drink that water. It's just for maintenance. But I'll tell you what, if you start working with it and you do a little more research and stay in touch with us, I can teach you what you do for anti-aging, okay? It's incredible. Seen it, been there. In fact, the funny thing is remember your history, Ponce de Leon?
Uh-huh.
He was actually fairly correct. The guy looking for the Fountain of Youth, he was actually fairly correct. So, but okay, everybody's been making fun of it, but I've seen it happen here.
Wow.
And I got medical doctors that'll tell you, yep, they saw it too.
I love it.
Whew.
Well, thank you for your work, and golly, thank you for spending some time with us and just talking about this whole stone thing and radiation. I appreciate it, Jay.
It's just helping, appreciate you guys helping get the word out. That's, we don't do big TV or big anything like that because we are a small group. We like giving attention to our people, and we got plenty of wellness instructors. But you guys, when we do radio shows, you guys have no idea the people that call in searching for an answer because they don't know where else to go, and we've saved many lives that way. So you guys are part of a big thing.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you for your work, and thank you for, again, spending some time with us. Just great stuff. Great stuff.
Thank you guys so much.
So Jay Gutierrez from Nighthawk Minerals, what an amazing guy, huh?
That guy's doing some interesting work. I have to say, over all the interviews we've done, I haven't heard anything quite like that. It's really unique.
I know. I really like what you're saying about the energy that comes off of these things. I mean, who knows? It sounds to me like if the radiation that's coming off of these stones is coming from the earth and it's such a low dose.
Yeah, low grade. Because you never think the word radiation could be anything good, but man,
right.
I mean, I think maybe that's even where the typical, how everything just gets morphed.
Mm-hmm.
The typical radiation that people get and receive these days in the typical treatments.
You mean
it
for
probably
cancer
started, for cancer and things.
Yeah.
It probably started off as, a knowledge of what radiation was and how it could be used for good, and then it just got out of control.
And then it
started warping what it was intended for.
Yeah, it seems like you take something good at such a low dose,
like arsenic
level.
I mean, what we've learned, things like that,
and then you just amplify it by 1,000 times and it kills cancer, but
it kills everything else.
I don't know if all of what he's saying is true, but I would like to get that mud pack and the pendant.
I would too, very much so.
What else? He's got the green stone.
Right, yeah.
And the water stone would be cool. We might have to get some. It'd be interesting to do. What we should do is get a blood test or a hair test. We should talk to one of our past guests about hair tests. What was his name? Dr. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson.
And get a hair test and then take, do this kind of thing with the water and the pendant and then get another hair test afterwards. I bet.
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be good.
I bet.
So thanks so much.
That was a good show.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show, everybody. And if you're interested in Jay Gutierrez's information, you can go to nighthawkminerals.com and check out his website and some more of his interviews. He's got videos and audios on there, nighthawkminerals.com. And if you have any questions about this show page or this particular interview, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/147 and make a comment in the box below and add your insight or your questions to that page. And if you enjoyed this information and if you think if there's anybody in your life that could benefit from this, please send it out to your friends on Facebook. We would so greatly appreciate that. I don't think you guys know how much that helps us, but to share our stuff on Facebook is just so huge for us, and hopefully it's benefiting you guys. And if it is, please do that. Or you could share it just by sending the link in an email to a friend or whatever. But you guys helping to share that information is huge, so I want to thank you for that. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and sign up to our newsletter too. We'd love to be in contact with you about our shows and things like that, and give you that free ebook that Lessons from the Miracle Doctors. You can get it for I think it's about $15 on Amazon, but we'll send it to you. Yep, we'll send it to you for free. And so thanks so much, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog and during this podcast is discussed in the context of numerous conditions, it can be dangerous to take action based on any of the information on this podcast or in this blog, or to start any health program without first consulting a health professional. The content found here is for informational purposes only and is in no way intended as medical advice, as a substitute for medical counseling, or as a treatment or cure for any disease or health condition, and nor should it be construed as such. Always work with a qualified health practitioner or professional before making any